Hello, welcome back ladies and gentlemen. We're at TT Assen in the Netherlands for the 2023 Dutch Grand Prix. It's been a while, it's been about 3 weeks in fact I think, since we've last been with the F1 cars. Of course if you've been sticking with the channel, you would have seen Summer Racing Series, SRS, 16 races around the world in the 1988 F1 cars. As Charles Leclerc comes out on track, it is raining. Is Leclerc spun around? Very dodgy coverage. Maybe because of the rain. I think Leclerc spun round and hit the wall, unfortunately. Yeah, he comes back out on track now. A little bit smoother, hopefully, for him. And speaking of it isn't smooth, this camera quality is shocking. Oh, there we go. Is that a crash, or is that just... I don't know, to be honest, what's going on, but I don't know. I do apologise for this. There you go, that's a bit better. Charles Leclerc comes out on the pitch. There we go, that's better. Very quick, not quicker than the other cars in fact. Anyway, yeah, SRS 1 point, still a bit dodgy. I can only apologise for this. Yeah, Thierry Boutsen won that yesterday morning at Adelaide. Dramatic race with Ayrton Senna being taken out in the pit lane. Well, Senna led the championship from the time from race 2 when he won in Imola all the way until the last race at Adelaide. But unfortunately, it was not to be, and Thierry Boutsen ended up winning the championship after some brilliant run of form in the end, near the end of the championship. Of course, that's still got 3 playoff races at Charlotte, at Martinsville, and at Daytona. And of course, yeah, speaking of playoffs, there is rumours that playoffs might be implemented until the end of this season, but it's confirmed there will be nothing about it until the end of the season, so it probably won't come to anything. But you never know, we might get some playoff races. And if they were to happen, possibly Gateway and not Gateway, Indianapolis would be some races. Leclerc's very off the track there. It is very wet, of course. It's been raining. Oh, off the track again. It's been raining last hour. About. Why is it so laggy? I don't get that. Why? It's got to be due to the rain, I reckon. 54 lap race tomorrow, by the way. So hopefully an entertaining one. It's all the player went onto the back of the Ocon there. He did get past him in the end, but very strange. It's all very wide there. Of course, Leclerc. We'll watch him a little bit because he was the winner of the Portuguese Grand Prix last time out. He goes very wide there. So yeah. Looking a bit smoother now. It's a very wet Aston track. Yeah, also, once Leclerc finishes his first line lap, we'll go through some big developing stories about F1 fantasy in general this year and next year. Leclerc cuts the corner a little bit there. Is he going to go fastest? Let's see. No, he doesn't. Stays 5th. Okay. Yeah, some big developments here. Nick de Vries, one of the home favourites. Him and Verstappen, of course, the 2 home favourites. You might wonder, why is he in a Red Bull, not an AlphaTauri like he normally is? He has been promoted to the senior team. Checo Perez has been dropped from Red Bull, and de Vries is now their second driver in this all Dutch now lineup. And who replaces de Vries in AlphaTauri? It's the Kiwi. It's Liam Lawson. Super Formula current championship leader, actually second now after that unfortunate incident at Motegi 2 weeks ago. This was last week actually, sorry. Yeah, unfortunately for Lawson now second, but he still can win. He's got the final round of the championship in October, and while he is there, we will be at Virginia, taking on the Virginian Grand Prix. So, to replace him will be Daniel Kvyat, returning for Formula 1 for the first time since the end of the 2020 season. And then he was, of course, dropped by AlphaTauri. But let's return for one more race. One more driver change. Felipe Drugovich in the Aston Martin. As you see him just behind an Alfa Romeo. The Brazilian replaces Fernando Alonso. Alonso, he hasn't been dropped. He is retired from Formula 1 to focus on IndyCar. He'll compete in the final 3 IndyCar races of the season at Gateway this weekend. Where else? You've got Portland and Laguna Seca. He'll drive those 3 races for, I believe, Arrow McLaren, and then next season he'll also be with Arrow McLaren for the whole season, trying to win that Indy 500 and completing the Triple Crown for the first time since Graham Hill, I believe. Some more developing stories over the summer break, just to make sure we're getting them all in. Let me just make sure. I believe it's just the calendar, yeah. So the 2024 calendar was revealed. Not going to go into full detail. They look quite slow, these cars. I think it's the wet weather just slowing them down a little bit. But anyway, yeah, next season calendar has been revealed. We start off at Buenos Aires for the Argentine Grand Prix on March the 3rd. We return to some circuits, return to Malaysia. Sepang for the Malaysian Grand Prix on March the 17th of round 2. We return to the Bend. We went here a lot this year, and it was won by Pierre Gasly. He has not been up to scratch, can't say, since that win in that race. He has been quite appalling, to be honest. But yeah, we go back there. Round 3 on March the 24th. Some more races. Brand new street circuit in Seattle for the Seattle Grand Prix on April 21st. We return to Fakisa for the South African Grand Prix on May the 5th. San Marino Grand Prix returns. Will be at Imola, but not the Imola we're used to now. It's the 1988 Imola layout, the same layout we use for SRS. Just like we go to Brazil later on this year, it'll be the same layout used. As Drugovich has hit a Red Bull, and the yellow flag comes out. Not too sure which Red Bull it is. Oh, it's all has a contact there between Hamilton. Hamilton hit that Red Bull there. That's very unusual crash indeed. Is it Nick De Vries? Yeah, it was Nick De Vries. And it's making his first start for Red Bull. He gets hit by is that Lewis Hamilton? No, it's actually George Russell, the championship leader. That is massive in terms of championship implications. George Russell with front wing damage. He's near the end of the lap, so he'll be able to come in and pit. That was a very strange crash indeed. He's almost hit by Carlos Sainz there. As well as we get more dodgy coverage, unfortunately. Anyway, more things. Yeah, French Grand Prix at Le Mans Bugatti. Hasn't been there since, I believe, 1967. We return to the Bugatti circuit on June the 9th. Week after, 24 hours Le Mans. Week after that, the Le Mans Grand Prix on June 23rd. And it'll be on the full circuit de la Sarthe for round 12. We return to Mosport for round 13 at the Canadian Grand Prix on July 7th. Some more return to Zolder for the Belgian Grand Prix on August 25th. Istanbul Park, September 22nd, round 19, round 20, 21, 22, all races we're returning to Bud for the Indian Grand Prix on September 29th. Let's just go find someone that is on track that we can watch. Leclerc's had a crash. He's in the pits currently. Let's see, is he crashed? He's in the pits for a while. Here is the Monegasque, who's currently on provisional pole, so he must have set a lap, which is pretty good. I'm sure he spun around there, hang on. I went off track. Did not spin him around there. No, it's in the straight line. But let's see, later on in this lap, We've got the helicopter. Oh, that's a big crash. Oh, there's a big spin there. Oh, hard hit into the wall. The tyre goes over the catch fence there. That's a massive crash. Thankfully no one stood there. That was a massive hit for Charles Leclerc. Let's have an on-board replay. In the wet, just gets on the curb and the car just goes and then oh, that's a big hit into the wall. Very high speed. What speed was he going there? 120 miles an hour at the time of the hit. We've got G-force. Let's have a look at that. We'll slow it down. Let's watch. It is quite slow. But just gonna see 189, 188 when he gets in the curb. That slows the car down a bit, and just on a bit of water. Geez, the 4 at the moment. Spins, can't control the car now. He's spinning in the gravel. Tries to slow the car down. Gravel did do a good job of slowing the car down, but 124. To slow down a lot, but oh, it's like 6G. So big hit there for Charles Leclerc. And get another angle here. Oh, just steps out and then it's a big hit into the wall for Leclerc. And then he's back live now. He's still on provisional pole, so if all goes well, Leclerc will be on pole. And you're not on track. Can't see anyone yet. I can hear someone. Here you go, George Russell, repair new front wing on. Back out on track. We were going over the calendar, weren't we? We got to Korea, the Korean Grand Prix at Korea International Circuit on October 6th on the 21st. No, round 21. Round 22 we returned to Watkins Glen for the second American race of the season. October 27th, round 23. We don't return. We go to Mid-Ohio for the Ohio Grand Prix, round 23 on October 27th. Laguna Seca we go to on November 24th, round 25. Sebring 305. This replaces the Daytona 305. Will be a Saturday night race at Sebring. 51 laps on December 1st at Sebring. And then the final race of the season, Sydney International, Sydney Motorsport Park, that's it, on December 15th for the Sydney Super Night. It'll be a night race at Sydney. Well, actually it'll be 2 races at Sydney. It'll be using Supercars points, so the V8 Supercars Championship will be using those points. As Drogovic, they're kind of holding up George Russell. And as I was saying, it'll be points will be used from the Supercars Championship. Well, I haven't actually seen what the points are for that yet, but we'll have a look. We'll get to it eventually. It is December of next year, so you've got plenty of time. And yeah, it'll be 2 races. It'll use the exact same schedule as Sydney Super Night. Sydney Super Night is like July time, so that's for the Supercars Super Night. It's a very aggressive racing here, and very dodgy coverage as well between George Russell and Felipe Drogovic making his F1 debut. Anyway, that's the calendar. You know what, let's go through all the circuits. I'm not going to give you dates, I'm going to give you circuits. Buenos Aires, the circuit the F1 used to go to in way back then. Sepang, The Bend, Autopolis in Japan, Ordos in China, Seattle, Fakisa in South Africa, Imola, San Marino, Valencia for the Spanish Grand Prix, Sachsenring for the German Grand Prix, Le Mans, Bugatti for the French Grand Prix, Le Mans for the Le Mans Grand Prix, Mosport for the Canadian Grand Prix, Snetterton for the British Grand Prix, Brno for the Czech Republic Grand Prix, Zolder for the Belgian Grand Prix. We're going to Sofia for the Bulgarian Grand Prix, that would be a good race. Off to Vallelunga for the Italian Grand Prix. No Monza banking this next season, unfortunately. Istanbul for the Turkish Grand Prix, Bud for the Indian Grand Prix, Korea for the Korean Grand Prix, Watkins Glen for the US Grand Prix, Mid-Ohio for the Ohio Grand Prix, Curitiba for the Brazilian Grand Prix, Laguna Seca for the Californian Grand Prix, Sebring for Sebring 305, and Sydney for Sydney Super Night. That's your 27 race calendar. Let's find someone out on track. There's someone on track, definitely, if you can hear them. Here's Liam Lawson. Let's have a look at the Kiwi making his F1 debut. Let's go on board with him on this lap. Just look how wet it is. Actually, it looks quite good like this, to be fair. I might watch it like this for a bit. You go around the final part of the track. Not long left to go in the session. 3 minutes. Actually, it's about 3 minutes 30. You know, Lawson coming into the pit, so just want to get some laps in now. That was out lap, I believe, and in lap. But currently P9. Good result for his debut. Anyone else on track? Home here at Max Verstappen. Home hero, I meant to say. I don't know what I said instead. It was definitely not hero. Yeah, also sprints next season are yet to be decided. We will go through them once they are announced. And there's not really much to talk about now, to be honest. I've gone through everything which you need to know for next season. So, anything else I can think of off the top of my head? You've finally seen all the action now, to be honest. Verstappen on out lap. Can Verstappen win the Dutch Grand Prix for the 3rd year in a row? Or can someone else claim his Dutch crown at his home race? He peeled into the pits just like Lawson, trying to get some laps in. To be fair, it is meant to be a dry race, but it might be raining just before the race, so you never know. Speaking of rain, it's raining outside my commentary box right now, which is lovely. Anyone else on out track? Nico Hülkenberg, the German. He won the sprint race at Estoril. Let's go on board with him. He won the where was it? Win, sorry, but he finished 2nd at the British Grand Prix. Very weird race that. Only had 4 people finishing the race, and also classified finishes, because no one actually completed 90% apart from the top 4. So we'll come back in the pits as well. Oh, that's a Kevin Magnussen stopping in front of him, maybe out of fuel. Not too sure about that. There's Piastri also in. Gasly's out on track in the Alpine. Very treacherous conditions, and at the moment it's like only Charles Leclerc is able to hold them off. And as I said, decent lap time. But everyone else like quite a few seconds behind them. Anyway, what was I talking about? About weather, what? I don't know, but yeah, I haven't seen anything just yet, so I don't see anything special yet. Of course, getting news that Charlotte is okay after that crash earlier on. Oh, Gasly's engines cuss out. I mean, it's obvious it's a fuel because you see this all the time. Anyone else in track? Looks like someone's coming out of Ferrari. Carlos Sainz. Doubt Charles Leclerc will be out on track anytime soon. That big hit into the wall. Qualifying only got 30 seconds left, so I don't see the point in going out on track, but he is, so I think it's around the pit lane for some reason. The coverage is just really poor. Not entirely sure why, but you know, Carlos Sainz now, I'm sure he'll come into the pits at the end of this lap, but checker flag is now waving. He's not on a lap, so I don't see why he would stay out, to be honest. There you go, I believe that is qualifying over now. So let's go through your grid for this race. Tomorrow, Djokovic at the back, unfortunately, on his debut, not the best qualifying. Hamilton, Russell, Mercedes constructors leaders, Russell championship leader, big surprise there. Joe Guanyu, he's third in the championship, 17th, 16th Sainz Stroll, he's second in the championship. So a lot of the front runners in the championship down near the back of the grid. We've got Ocon, Sargent, Norris, Hulkenberg, Verstappen, home favourite, not great for him. Lawson, Albon, De Vries, the leading Red Bull and Dutch driver at the Dutch Grand Prix. We've got Bottas, Gasly, Piastri, Magnussen, Tsunoda and Charles Leclerc. Your pole sitter, of course, winning last time out in Estoril. It's the first time this season Leclerc went on pole. We'll see. Can he hold on tomorrow? We'll see. Goodbye.